Shabbat Shalom to everybody. Thank you to Tony and Griselda and Jeremy for taking the lovely service today, and to the board of the Sinai Synagogue so much for recognising the work of the Leeds Jewish Housing Association with this special Shabbat service, and for allowing me to tell you more about why Leeds Jewish Housing means so much to us. It's particularly appropriate today as it's the yortzeit of the much-missed Sheila Saunders, who I'm sure many of you knew. Sheila was LJHA through and through, and made sure the organisation punched above its weight, as she liked to say. Her passion for housing inspires me every day, and can I wish Tom and all the family long life. Housing is the cornerstone of all our lives. To have a safe and warm roof over our head and that of our family is a basic need. Whilst Leeds Jewish Housing are nominally in the business of bricks and mortar, it is in reality about helping people. In fact, we house approximately 15% of the community. Over the last 3 years, during the pandemic and beyond, our staff have tirelessly worked to ensure our residents' safety and well-being. Last year, we saw the heartbreaking stream of people having to leave their lives in the Ukraine and be offered safe haven in countries across Europe. Sadly, many more are still leaving their homes to seek sanctuary elsewhere as the war continues. Leeds Jewish Housing welcome those displaced from their normal lives through conflict, and currently are housing refugees from Syria, Afghanistan and Ukraine. By providing them with affordable housing, it allows them to be able to set down roots here and live a more normal life. A reminder of how many of our families came to the UK and Leeds just a few short generations ago. David and I decided to sponsor a guest from the Ukraine, and it has been so heartwarming to see her, after 6 months of living with us, to be able to set up her own home with LJHA, helped by so many of the community who donated furniture, white goods, bedding and kitchenware. She was incredibly moved by the generosity of the Jewish community, not quite understanding why we would go above and beyond to help her. And we got to see on a personal level the difference her own home brings to her in her quest to rebuild her life. On an even more personal level, when I was diagnosed and treated for breast cancer some years ago, my home became my safe haven, one where I could process what was happening and where I felt safest. Already involved in Leeds Jewish Housing, this strengthened my resolve to ensure that this organisation continued to provide good quality homes for the whole of our community. I am truly honoured every day to be the chair of Leeds Jewish Housing and strive to ensure we are the best we can be. You probably know we have about approximately half our properties as sheltered housing for our vibrant and independent elders in our community. Last year, we completed our 4th block on the Queenshill site. Named Cherry Tree House after the tree in our first tenant Alex Seltzer's original garden, this is now linked with the other 3, Sheila Saunders Lawn, Skite House and Stonegate Way, and also to the Mass Centre, creating a fabulous sheltered village for all who live there. I know my dad, Ralph, walks from Cherry Tree House to Stonegate Way, onto Skite House, and then either through the Maz or the Sheila Saunders Lawn to go and pick up his paper. Every day it takes him longer as he meets and chats to all en route. Perfect. But we also have Burton House and Lady Park Court on Shadwell Lane, Green Park and Bentcliffe Court in Moortown, all with their own activities and communities. We also have many flats and some houses around the community for general needs. That's anybody in our community who needs to be in affordable housing. These are mainly within our Queenshill estate, but also a few around Alwoodley and Moortown. Our new block, Hillside, is home to over 30 new tenants, bringing them into our community. These general need properties house so many who need us, from young people wanting an independent life but within the community, people coming out of domestic abuse situations, people with vulnerabilities who need a safer place to build independence, and those who wish to be within the very expensive part of Leeds in order to remain part of the Leeds Jewish community. Out of our properties, we have 35 family houses, which are always full and rarely come vacant. This is a testament to how settled our families are that live with us. However, this is the area where we have the most need to provide more and where we're actively looking to nearly double our provision. As I go about my daily life, I so often end up having conversations with people who need family housing. They need safe, affordable housing for them and their children, near to everything in the community, family, friends, schools, shuls. Whether it's moving from an overcrowded flat with no secure outside space, or divorce or separation creating a new need, we need to be able to have these homes to offer these families. We have identified space and are at the early stages of planning to do just that, planning for 28 family homes. Our major hurdle is that the government funding that just last year provided a quarter of the funds for Hillside and for Cherry Tree House have now put criteria in place for further funding, which these much-needed family homes do not meet. Therefore, even after a very generous donation of £500,000, we are looking at a very large shortfall of 1.5 to 2 million. I'll say it quickly. Leeds Jewish Housing have rarely, if ever, had to ask the community for funding, preferring to use lending and government funding. But we are now spearheading a campaign to go to our community, to trusts and to charities, to help us to build these homes. Let's all be part of this plan to provide families with the same resources and housing that we offer our singles, our couples and our elderly. Let's give these families the chance of a safe roof over their heads, the chance to stay a part of our community, the chance to know that Leeds is the best place to bring a family up and know that the whole community is here for them. Let them be where they can take advantage of our Jewish schools, the Zone, the Shuls, Gourmet, McHugh's, and so much more. You'll be seeing a lot about this in the next few weeks as we have just launched our campaign to raise these funds. Join us by being part of this massively important campaign to get these homes built. To quote a well-known supermarket, every little helps. We are also starting to celebrate our 70th birthday. 70 years of housing our community, an incredible achievement, and we know that LJHA has been there for so many over the years. So look out for our 70 for 70 stories in the press and social media, and if anyone has any experiences or stories around LJHA, we'd love to hear from you. Just get in touch. So, if anybody wants to know more about Leeds Jewish Housing or any further information on any of our plans, please come and speak to me or any of the housing people here today. There's Craig at the back, there's Liz, and if any of the board members would just like to stand up and identify yourselves, you can come and chat to them. There we are. Thank you. Thank you. So may I just wish the whole congregation Shabbat Shalom and Chag Pesach Sameach. Thank you.